Dave, it is time to ask you your trivia question at the top of every show.
I am so excited.
Are you ready, Dave, for your trivia question? It's usually about the show or about me personally.
You personally, yes.
Here's your trivia question. Dave, can you eat a fart?
Yes, you can.
Okay, the answer is no, you can't really eat a fart.
We'll see about that.
Okay, everybody check us out at 6 Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com. Welcome to 6 Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great contestant on the show today. Everybody put your hands together for Peggy O'Leary. There she is.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Peggy. You're the best.
Ditto.
All right. Then we have a great studio audience. Everybody, please put your hands together for our studio audience. It's Jeffrey Joseph and Michael Priest.
Woo!
Welcome, both of you. All right. Peggy, here's how the show works. I'll tell you how it works, and then we'll get started. I ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I'll ring a bell if I like your answer, like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I'll decide whether or not your appearance on the show is worth giving you $5 whole. Are you ready to get started?
Can't wait.
All right. It's time for question number 1. Question number 1. How do you use math in your day-to-day life?
Well, currently I am in school to be a funeral director. So I am taking accounting 2 right now. So I actually use it all the time, just, going to stores. But now I actually am doing it in an academic way, and it really sucks.
So you, as a funeral director, you have to use math?
No, it's basically you take like business classes, psychology classes, and then science classes to learn how to embalm. So yeah, accounting is part of the business side of it.
Oh, a funeral director is actually a person who embalms as well?
Yep.
Have you embalmed a body?
No, not yet. But I am in a class called Chemistry for Embalmers. So a couple more episodes. Sorry, dog.
What?
Yeah, it does sound like a dog.
What is this funeral school called, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called American Academy McAllister Institution.
Interesting. I didn't know there was a thing like this.
What are your feelings?
That sounded like a bunch of words put together. American Academy McAllister Institution. School.
Yeah.
That was not believable.
You know what, Professor Joseph, you're correct. It was 2 schools combined into one. So it was... Yeah. So AMI.
Do you guys have a mascot? So was it a school for funeral and a school for directors, and then they just put it together? Okay.
Nope. Just a funeral service science is what it is.
So where do they get the person for the embalming class?
I think Bellevue Hospital, if I'm being honest.
Before
send them your link, Dave.
I'm sorry for all these random questions that are being thrown at you.
Link, and you might possibly get to be the person.
I'm not.
I think this has already been 6 questions.
Yeah, they've been like just people throwing random questions. But before we go on, I do want you to answer Michael's question. Do you have a mascot?
No, there's no sports at the school.
Okay, I was curious as well, Michael. Good
question.
Like
a dead dog or something as a mascot, or like a stuffed animal,
Jeffrey.
Like a stuffed
like little X's on its eyes.
All right, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do. Please, everyone. I'm trying to do a show. Okay, so I'm going to move on to question number 2. Okay, but before we do question number 2, Peggy, can you tell people out there what you do?
Well, I do stand-up comedy, but during the day I work at my dad's funeral home.
Wow. Working at a funeral home is I have so many questions. I would rewrite all of your questions if I had known that fact before we started talking.
It's like the easiest thing to learn about me. So cool, Victor. You've been a really good friend.
I've known it, Peggy, and I haven't seen you in years, and I knew that.
Yep.
Because you know why? Because I listen to women.
I don't know. I don't really know you, Peggy. What are you
I'm just
about?
kidding. I'm kidding. I grew up on top of a funeral home.
Is that the house in the picture? Are you in that house right now?
Yeah, I didn't realize I was on my I was on my dad.
Oh, yeah,
I was on
we saw
Zoom
the picture.
thing.
We saw the funeral home picture. That's the actual.
Yeah, that's the house. That's the illustration of the house.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I am going to move on to question number 2 right now. Question number 2. Is there a trivia category you feel confident in?
Yeah, I would say like I'm really good at playing the movie game, so like actors and movie trivia stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Guess.
Can I ask you a trivia question and then see if you're good? If you got it. All right. So, but is there like a genre of movies or a year that is you feel like you're really good at?
I mean, I would say I'm pretty good at the 90s, but I don't know. I went to film school, so try me out.
All right. Okay. This is a pretty easy one.
Okay.
In the Paul Verhoeven movie RoboCop, who played RoboCop?
Duh. Well, now I feel stupid.
Peggy, I can see his face, but I can't remember his name because he really didn't do much after that.
Yeah, I want to say
anyone knows who this guy is. What kind of?
No, wait, because I feel like he.
I know who he is, and then he is like a film buff person that you would know. Like you would know if like you're, especially if you're into like those like action movies, iconic action movies, you would know this guy.
Oh, well, that's not my genre.
What was his first name, Victor? What was his first name?
That's fine. I just asked the question, and no bell. It was Peter Weller.
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller.
Yeah.
I get no bell for that shit.
Yeah, you got no bell. I asked you what category you feel comfortable in. I narrowed it down to what kind of movie, what era. And
no, I know you're right.
No bell.
I'm sorry.
Who's the bad guy in that movie that looks like Todd Barry?
Oh, it's your mom. Okay. Question number 3.
So Victor.
Yes.
What's another? Without looking it up, what's another movie that Michael Weller was in?
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller was in. Michael Weller's a playwright. Peter Weller. What's another movie that Peter Weller was in? Don't look at the screen. I'm
not looking it up at all. Peter, I don't know what other movies Peter Weller was in. Other than
very fair question, very good question.
Other than the one where I don't know the name, but he shot a gun that was a heat-seeking missile gun.
Oh, he shot a gun.
But I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Because it's about RoboCop. Yeah. It's not about Peter Weller. It's about RoboCop. Like, you know all the stuff about RoboCop, but you don't necessarily know everything that anybody else in RoboCop has ever done.
Was he in RoboCop 2?
Yes.
Well, Miguel Ferrer was the bad guy in that. I remember his name. And he's been in hundreds of movies.
Yes, because you know the names. You know the names of character actors because that's what you do. So you're like, look at the guy who's been unappreciated. That's me.
Let's not get personal, Victor.
All right, it's time for question number 3. Question number 3, Peggy. What is a waste of money?
A waste of money is spending a lot of money on like clothes for any sort of reason at all. It's bullshit. I don't care.
Oh, wow.
Any reason?
That's hilarious to me.
I mean, like anything too expensive. If it, just I don't know. Okay. I'm still like into getting hand-me-downs from my rich friends. So
yeah. So I'm 100% with you. But the funny thing is, my wife works in fashion, so we're like diametrically opposed on that issue. And so it's.
If you want, my second answer was going to be everyone should just do cremations. There's no need for a full burial. And that's kind of going against everything that I make money in. So
do you guys ever get your dead friends' clothes?
No.
That's a hand-me-down. That is a hand-me-down. And you guys are in the right place to get a lot of free clothes. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I mean, this is not one of your questions, but is there like a little detail about working in the funeral home industry that people just don't realize? Like something that you'd be like, oh, that makes sense, but I never thought of it.
That we have the reason why doctors are all wrong. They will not sign death certificates because once you die, they don't give a shit about you. And I will fight every doctor in the world for that reason.
Wow, I had no idea about that. It's crazy.
They won't sign death certificates.
It's so annoying to find them and get them to sign things because
maybe they don't want to deal with the idea of death and the finality.
I guess
doctors. That's what they work in.
Wait, what'd you say, Jeffrey?
Right. Well, they want to be right. They want not to f up. So the longer they wait, the more certain they are the person is dead.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. If that was the
case, let's wait a few weeks. Let's see.
No, if that was the case, it would be a medical examiner's case, and then there'd be an autopsy. I'm talking about a guy who's had heart conditions his whole life, and then like his cardiologist is like, I haven't seen him in a week or two, so I'm not going to sign it.
Oh, okay.
That kind of stuff.
So
I feel like this is the most boring episode of all time.
I think this is very interesting.
No, it's interesting.
I disagree.
So do they have
I'm giving it a bell because of that information.
Show me the body. Show me the body.
A coffin's made out of real wood or particle board.
It depends on what you pay for.
Is there a $40 particle board coffin?
What's the markup? Tell us the markup. What's the markup on a casket?
It's got to be over 400%.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not.
What?
400%? No way.
What do you think it costs to make it? And how much you sell it for?
Oh, well, I'm going to keep going with the show because I'm not interested in this part of the conversation.
It's very interesting stuff.
It is time for question number 4. Question number 4. Do you ever lie to get out of plans?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time. I'm the youngest of 6, so there's constantly like somebody's birthday, and we all work together. So yeah, I always have. I mean, they definitely think I do way more paid shows than I do. I'm like, I can't. I'm making like $200 on this weird Tuesday afternoon. It's crazy.
Anyone else in your family do stand up or anything?
No.
Okay.
Why was that important, Dave?
I don't know. She's a big fan. I was just wondering. I was curious.
I was curious.
I'm learning all things O'Leary today.
They're very funny, but not stand up.
I have people in my family who I think are funny too. Like, in fact, I think that my sister is funnier than I am, but she doesn't do stand up.
Yeah, my brother is funnier. But actually, it's also funny whenever anybody sees my sisters, they're like, I understand who you are on stage more. I'm just doing like a weird caricature of all my sisters.
Yeah, nobody says that about my family because I'm very different than a lot of my family, I think. So, maybe once I find that therapist, I can talk about it. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say no bell on that question because I started talking about wanting therapy by the end. So
yay, therapy.
That was on your.
I know it's my fault, but still no bell for you. You heard someone say yay for therapy. That was Rachel. She actually has she's like a master's of therapy. It's called an MS. I'm just up the letters. What are they?
MCSW?
No.
Oh, there we go. Of course you would know it.
No,
Elemental.
No.
What is it?
Yeah, I was going to say that too. MICKEYMOU.
LMSW.
Okay.
Everyone's very impressed, Rachel.
I'm going to write it down.
You prompted it.
I know. But you prompted it by saying yay therapy first. Out of the blue.
Therapy.
Okay, everybody stop fighting.
It's fine. I agree, yay therapy. It is now time for question number 5. Question number 5. How would you take over the world?
Ooh. I'd put something in the water supply and that makes them all really like me. And then I just have like a really fun group of sheepish people that just like kind of wanted to dance and have a good time, get really drunk. That's how I would take over the world. I don't know if I answered that correctly, but basically I would just make the world more fun.
I mean, that actually sounds pretty good to me.
So if you were in charge, we would all have to be nice to you and dance all the time? That's what you want?
Yeah. No, you don't necessarily need to be nice to everybody, but just like a lot more like chill vibes, a lot more like, dancing in the street. No.
Just like this show.
Mm-hmm.
I think that type of world, doesn't sound bad except for the part where we have to dance.
Well, you don't have to dance. It's just like if that's what you want to do.
But you like dancing, Victor.
I love
a great
dancing.
Dancer.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good.
I am a very good dancer. That is true. But I hate it when people force me to dance because if they hear that I'm a good dancer, then they're like, dance. And I hate that.
People are like, hey, you start flossing or get out of here. And you're like,
yes, I can floss. Flossing is what it's about. That's really the standard for whether or not you can dance.
Unfortunately, I've seen you floss a lot of times. Yes.
Peggy, I think that your version of your, I guess, Peggytopia sounds pretty good. So I'm going to give you a bell.
Hell yeah. Peggytopia also sounds like a good comic. I'm going to write it.
All right. Peggytopia. All right. It is time for question number 6. Question number 6. Have you ever eaten asparagus until your pee stank?
Not to my knowledge, but Yeah.
You never just tried it as an experiment?
Oh, no. Yeah. I feel like that doesn't seem like a thing that I would ever want to do.
Even did you know about it when you were younger?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, my pee stinks fine.
Yes, that is a thing. That's that's like the silly thing that people get taught in biology if they ever listened in biology.
Yeah,
who's ever binged on asparagus?
It doesn't. You don't have to eat that much of it.
It's just people who've heard of this have done it. Nobody. It's not.
I guess. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever been like someone who's like, all right, I'm gonna pee, smell it out. Then I'm going to go sit down, eat some asparagus. Jeffrey seems like he has because he's like, it doesn't take that much to get it to be stanky.
Well,
how do you know that?
I'm going to say no bell on that question.
I feel like I'm being like wrongfully
I will give you a
judged
chance
here.
I will give you a chance to get a bell.
No, you're good.
I don't even want your bell.
Oh, buff on goal.
That is 100% understood, but here's your chance to get the bell.
Okay.
In what movie starring Matthew Broderick was eating asparagus and peeing one of the character things that you learn about one of the people? Eating asparagus until their pee stank.
Ferris Bueller?
No, it was Election. Did you ever see Election?
I did. I love Election.
But
I don't even think about Michael Broderick. And then he's, the friend. You're right.
The girl with her friend, they said that we ate asparagus until our pee stank.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that they were showing in their little movies.
Damn, that is a funny one that I never think of Matthew Broderick and that he was like a huge part of it.
Yeah, he was the male lead.
Yeah.
What about pineapple juice? What does that do?
Makes it supposed to be better, right?
I think
it's supposed to make pussy better.
I think that guys do the thing where, because if you drink pineapple juice, supposedly your sperm is supposed to taste really good, and then I think it's a thing where guys are like, "Hey, my sperm tastes like pineapple juice. Does that make it more likely to happen?"
I feel like Dave's drinking pineapple juice right now.
Not right now.
Not right now.
But I will.
I definitely tasted someone's spunk and been like, that guy is definitely sick. And then I found out 2 weeks later he was sick.
Wow, you can tell that from tasting spunk?
And that's when he decided to become a funeral director. I don't know what
do you know?
I was like, I think this guy might have.
Do you know what high demand you'd be in medieval times?
Yeah.
I have to play.
I would have definitely been that medicine witch lady who's like, I have to suck your dick to know what disease you have. Come bathe in here, boys. Let me heal you up. All right, sorry.
Sounds like an amazing medical system.
Like, Saya, would you like me to examine you? No, let her examine me. He's like, not the other guy. All right, you've answered all 6 questions. Thank you very much. Now it's time to decide whether or not you get $5 for your appearance on the show. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where to find you?
Well, if you're in the Philadelphia area, I have tons of shows that I'm doing. And you can find me on social media. On Instagram, I'm ant_Peggy O. And that's the only one I like. So.
All right. All right. So it's time to decide whether or not you get $5, Peggy. We canvass the room. Dave, what do you think? Should Peggy get $5 for her appearance on the show?
Absolutely. I really enjoyed Peggy's appearance, and I want you to win the $5 because you don't want it. Is that weird?
I guess we'll find out. Jeffrey, what do you think? Should Peggy get $5 for her appearance on the show?
Well, given the background behind her and the dog going back and forth and the door opening and closing. It looks like she lives in Appalachia. So yeah, give her the $5. It goes a long way there. So get to come out and get some cornmeal for the family. I think it's the only thing to do.
It's Philly. What part of Philly is it?
All right. Thank you for ignoring Dave's question. All right. And Michael, what do you think? Should Peggy get $5 for her appearance on the show?
Well, I mean, she did mess up the whole Ferris Bueller thing and the RoboCop thing. She says she went to movie school.
I did. I know. I never said I went to movie school. No, but he's ever been to movie school.
I clearly heard movie school.
I went to internet school.
Movie school is like when you first started working at Blockbuster, you had to do 2 weeks of movie school. No.
A friend of mine went to the same school, and he talks about RoboCop a lot.
You can tell she's a filmmaker by how much she was offended by that.
Movie school. Right, yeah. Good, but,
she went through the roof. Movie school.
Brilliant.
Right. Rachel, what do you think?
She was disrespectful of the bell. The bell is the foundation of
Michael's
the show.
not done. Go ahead. Anything
Mike's
else?
on a mission. Mike's on a mission.
Her answer about the water supply.
Okay.
The question wasn't.
Yo, did you write all this shit down?
Yeah, this is crazy.
The question was how. Now you didn't mention inventing the substance that just makes everyone love you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hormones.
That was the question.
Yeah, hormones.
She's gonna drink some pineapple
This wasn't a
juice
magic
and
question.
eat some
This was a bare
asparagus and
bones
piss into
tell
the
us
water
goddamn
supply.
truth.
All right.
Tell me how
Okay.
you really feel, Michael.
$3.
Michael is like, are you a desk in disguise? I hate you.
Oh, and all the negativity about desks.
All right. Rachel, what do you think? Should Peggy get $5 for her appearance on the show?
Yeah, so she kind of like underestimated herself a little bit and said that this is the most boring episode we've ever recorded. And I thought that was kind of humble, but also like a little, but like, yeah, it was humble. So yes, give her the $5.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for that answer. Okay.
Thank you, Rachel.
Did you think it was a little on the
I know,
nose,
it kind of
or-
feels like low-key shade. It was like, this doesn't even know she's interested. F her. Give her 5.
No, and this is certainly not the most boring episode we've ever recorded. So
Hey, Rachel, feel free to turn off your camera.
Wow, Rachel was trying to say there's a lot of boring episodes, more boring. Wow.
What do you think?
Wow.
What do you think, Peggy? Should you get $5 for your appearance on the show?
You know what? I got to be fair. I said no to both the guys that I was in the studio for, and I'm a fair person. I do feel like all the men were talking over me, and that's why I didn't get the bell.
Well, wait a minute. Before we go on with that, I think I need to say this thing about the thing because.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something?
You get to say the thing.
I had nothing to say.
So nah, I don't.
Come
deserve
on.
it.
That doesn't mean you don't deserve it because they didn't deserve it.
I'm a fair person.
All right.
Selling yourself
Okay, so
short.
I'm going to send you the $5. I'm doing it right now. I'll tell you why.
See?
It's because what kind of a
no.
would I be? At some point you got to give somebody $5. You got 3 people on your show. At least one person is going to get $5. Thank you for filling the pity spot. All right.
Yeah.
Dave, what did you learn from this week's show?
Besides our extensive knowledge on funeral homes right now,
Sure.
probably not that much.
Great. Everybody check us out at Unseemly on all social
my
media. And Unseemly.
Come on. I didn't deserve that,
Unseemly
Peggy.
questions.
Come on.
Dave rules.
And unseemlyquestions.com.
Star Bands Audio, a podcast network.